After weeks of working on my attic office refurbishment, painting, laying a new floor, rewiring electrics, and building my custom workstation, then more painting, and don't even get me started on those skirting board angles, we finally gave it one last push to the finish line. And I now have a beautiful space to work in for my day job and when I edit these YouTube videos in the evenings. It was definitely a challenge, but not bad at all for a couple of amateur DIY enthusiasts, even if I do say so myself.
Well, that's not right.
But don't be fooled, this room isn't finished yet. We still have the other side to tackle. I've got some great plans for it, I just need to fine-tune the design before I pull everything together.
But I've never found this anywhere else.
A good interior design is not just about the aesthetics and how nice it looks in photos and videos, but also the practicalities of a space, storage, lighting solutions, making the most out of a room. So now that the workstation side of the office refurbishment project is over and done, let's head back inside where it's nice and dry and take a look at some previous designs that I've worked on, along with what's coming up next. Well, the sun's out, but it's absolutely freezing outside. Isn't that right, Benji? Toasty and warm in here, though, isn't it? Come on, lay down. Good boy. So, now that this side of the office is finished, the workstation, all we've got to do now is do that side. But I'm not about to jump right into that this week because hey, I want a break. I want to chill out, I want to relax, I want to enjoy working in here, and I've been quite busy with my day job as well, so I've had very little time to work on that side, but I do have a couple of concepts in mind, a few ideas that I've sketched down, so I'll show you those a little later on in this video. But what I thought I'd do, first of all, is I thought I'd address one of the things that a few of you have mentioned over the last few months or the last year, and that is, Johnny, why don't you do interior design? Well, I do, but I don't design for everybody, I design my way, and what I mean by that is, if you hadn't already guessed, I do tend to lean more into designing spaces that have darker tones, a more timeless classic heritage feel, with a slight contemporary twist here and there, because we don't want to feel as if we're living in the past or living in a museum or something like that. But for somebody who perhaps is looking for a space that is minimalistic and contemporary, then I'm probably not going to be the right fit. And that's completely fine, because people who do reach out to me, they do so because they understand my thought process when I'm designing a space. So I suppose the question is, why would somebody hire an interior designer? And the answer to that is simple. It saves them a lot of time and effort and potentially wasted money. How many times have you decorated a room in the past, took a step back and thought, actually, I'm not that keen on it. Have I made the right choice with the paint colors, the furniture, the flooring, the carpet, whatever? Often what tends to happen is it's so easy to walk into a high street store, see a curated selection of furniture, which is all very matchy and samey, and then just go, I'll have that entire bedroom suite or that entire living room suite, deliver it to my house now, and then once it's in the space, you take a step back and go, yikes, have I made the right decision? It's just not doing it for me. And that's where a designer comes in. A good interior designer has an eye for detail, they know which colour works with what, they can completely reimagine a space, come up with practical storage solutions and lighting solutions, as I mentioned earlier. They know where to position furniture in the room so that it flows nicely, is aesthetically pleasing, but more importantly, practical. So take our previous home, for example. It was a new build. It wouldn't have been our first choice of home. We would much have rather have had an older building with more character and more charm, but it was our first rung on the property ladder and it's all we could afford at the time. But just because it was a new build, it didn't mean to say we had to stick with the generic white walls and grey carpets that the developer had recommended. It was our home, so we decorated it, not for resale, but we decorated it to reflect us. The rooms were fairly small, with it being a new build, and the windows weren't huge either, which meant there wasn't an awful lot of natural daylight. Most people, their instinct would be to just reach for a tin of white paint, paint all the walls white to make it, in an effort to make it as light and bright and airy as possible. However, in a room with not an awful lot natural daylight, what can happen is it can end up making the white, if you paint it completely white, it just ends up becoming grey and a little bit drab. So what we did is, rather than fight against the lack of natural daylight, we worked with it. And what I mean by that is we leaned more into darker tones. We had panelled walling and painted it a darker blue. We had the dark brown leather Chesterfield sofa, but very clever layering of light, and with Adam's upcycled antique typewriter lamp, it turned what would have been quite a bland, uninspiring room into a cosy, cocooning snug, the perfect place to chill out and relax at the end of the day and watch a movie or read a good book. It almost had a slight dark academia vibe, I guess you could say, and that theme kind of ran throughout the house. I don't think there was any room in that house that was completely white and light and bright and airy. And I think that's an important point about interior design. It's not always just about the age of the building, the new build for us back then. It's about understanding the space that you have and making it work with you rather than against you. So take this cottage, for example. It's over 200 years old, but we don't want to live in a place that feels as though it's frozen in time. We don't want to live in a museum. Yes, we take elements of its past and nod to its past and have it here and there, but we live here, so it has to work with the practicalities of how we live while also being beautiful. And that's how my interior design services fit alongside Godwin Vintage so well, because the upcycled vintage lighting that Adam creates aren't just add-ons, they are a part of how I think about designing a space right from the beginning. And when I design for clients, I often include one or two of Adam's pieces, just because they genuinely do work as part of the design. But there's never any obligation. Clients will always choose what's right for them. So before I jump in and show you some more of my previous designs that I worked on for clients, we're going to pause for a moment and take a look at some filming that we did recently, where we installed some automatic blinds at our neighbour Ian's house. Let's jump back and see how we got on. We're in a different place this week.
We are?
We are. If you remember last year, we had the automatic blinds installed that we got from SmartWings. Well, this week's sponsor is SmartWings again, only this time we're at, ta-da, Ian, give us a wave, our friendly neighbour Ian. So what we figured is Ian's been such a great neighbour, helping us out with lots of renovation work in the cottage and building the cabin and all the rest of it. We're having the automatic blinds installed at Ian's house this week. So this is SmartWings' new range of Roman blinds. And you're looking forward to it, aren't you, Ian?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Sitting there, operating them via remote control.
If somebody will show me how it works.
Right, should we get these installed?
Yes.
Right.
So this one is for the bottom hall.
exciting. It's like Christmas again. Set instructions.
Blinds.
Ooh. What's that? Template?
This is a template.
Ah, okay, to help you attach them to the windows, yeah.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
And then end pieces as well, I presume.
Ah, they go on here.
Yeah, it'll go on the ends for the cover it.
Ah.
But you'll see all of that when we're finished.
So these automatic blinds are powered by USB-C type cable, and similar to the ones that we installed in our cottage last year. I think they last around 6 months. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah, about 6 months, then you just plug them in, charge them, buy the mains.
Yeah. So every 6 months, plug them in via USB-C.
Yeah.
600 rotations or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
600 rotations. Did you get a solar panel with these ones?
There's a solar panel out there, yeah.
Yeah. So a solar panel, we'll just stick that on the window, and then
Yeah.
that one you'll never need to plug it in to charge it.
Right, so what we've got is we've got the template that they've sent, but I don't need it because these brackets are going to fit flush with the top of the frame. So what we'll do is we'll measure from the outside to the inside, and we'll take a size, and then we can mark that up to it, which I've marked here. That's where the holes are going to be, and then we'll just put a couple of holes in it to mark it for the screws to get. What we've got is a countersink, and what that does is it will countersink the holes where I need to drill. And then I'll pop in a screw, but these are my screws because the ones that came with it were too long, and because this is just 1/2 inch facing, the screws are too long and it'll go into the brickwork and it'll just screw the threads out, and it won't. So if it's a smaller screw, it'll go into the wood, and it's the wood that's locking it in.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with the screws that were supplied with it. They're just a little bit too long for your wall. Yeah.
I'm in.
If my sizes are right.
Ah, okay. So it's just the wing nut that attaches.
Yes.
That looks so easy.
You would think, wouldn't you?
That looks a bit of a fiddler in the middle.
So this is the end cover that will go up here. So we've got Velcro in the back here, and then we've got M3 tape in front. So that will fit there like that, and then that should go down, fit in like that.
Ah, that's clever. That just finishes that off nice and neat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How cool is that? That looks good. Right, where's your remote to operate it?
So you can either have it just surface mounted, or it's got a little magnet.
What's that? Oh, so you can screw it to a wall and have it wall mounted
Yeah.
with a magnet to attach it. That's handy.
Then if you want it on the wall. Turn it on.
Was that the USB-C on the back as well to charge it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then you've got your different channels for your different blind numbers. I think it's programmable up to 9 blinds, 8 blinds. And then to adjust it to open and close, just twiddle.
Right, what's this one? Kitchen one. Great, let's go. all set up, Adam?
I think so. So it is important you do follow and read the instructions and do it step by step, because if you miss a step then it will not like it and you've got to reset and start again.
Okay, so follow the instructions to the T.
Yeah.
Brilliant, right, let's give it a bash.
So to wake it up, press the button at the side. That will select the channel. Channel 0 controls all your blinds in one go. So if you want them all to open at once, go 0. This one's set to number 1, so I want to close my blind. So I twiddle it all the way around.
Very fancy. How's it go? Look at this, man. He's done already. I didn't even get to film it. Well, once you've seen one blind go up, you've seen them all.
So as well as using the Helix style remote for the SmartWings, you can also follow the instructions and you can add it to your Google or your Alexa via the instructions in here. You just follow the instructions, download the app, and then you'll have it on your smartphone as well.
Interestingly, this blind has 2 brackets, and yet the blind for this window that Ian's putting up now has 3 brackets. Yet they are exactly the same size, so we can't actually figure out the reason behind having 3 on that and 2 brackets on this one.
Was that blind manufactured on a Friday?
The one with 2 brackets. Yeah, because this second blind even has the 3 slots for for 3 brackets as well. Here we go, kitchen blind number 2.
So this is going to be blind number 3. So you set that to number 3 on your dial. Press and hold the button. So it jogs once. You press and hold stop. 1, 2. Pairing is successful.
You did program the right one, didn't you?
Yes.
Is this one going to be number 2 then?
No, this is number 3.
But that's what in number 3. Put it on to 2 then and see what it does.
So 2 controls this one as well.
No. 2 should just do that one. So let's get that back up. Number 3. There we go. Look at this. We can have doing this all day long. Right, so we've got number 1, which is in the hallway, number 2, kitchen blind, and number 3, kitchen blind. So they're all programmed separately. But if you want to get them to all work together, if you go to channel 0, they will all open and close at the same time. If you do live in an older house though, with thicker walls, sometimes the reception isn't as good, so you might need to move your remote nearer to where the blind is to get it to work.
So this is the little solar panel that you can get to go with the blinds to power them. So again, you've got the USB-C cable, and basically you just stick this to the window, plug the USB-C into the side of the blind, and it will just constantly recharge the blind with no need to plug it into the mains to charge it. So that's your regular USB-C charging cable, so you can just plug that into an adapter and charge them when the battery starts running low. Or, like I said, alternatively, you have a little solar panel that can come with them, and you basically plug it into that USB-C slot on the side of the blind. So you just lift the, what do you call it? Valance, pelmet,
Yeah.
whatever you call it. You lift that up to expose the blind itself.
And it'll tuck behind there, right behind there, and then it'll
stick it to the window.
onto the window.
Yeah, well, not that it's going to charge tonight, mind. It's pitch black outside, but... Right, this is the test as to whether it's easy to operate or not. Because if I can operate them, anyone can.
One's up and one's down.
So, channel 0, for all the blinds. Oh, do that again.
That's what it says.
Oh.
One's up and one's down.
And,
Right.
And it would help if I didn't have the remote upside down as well. So, let's go again. So, channel 0. To do all of the blinds.
Yeah.
Let's shut them all. Have I just tried to open them again? Why isn't it working?
You're holding the remote.
See, I just thought it was.
Don't use the spinny thing.
Yeah, you can use the spinny thing.
That's not working. I'll need to do it again. That was crap, wasn't it?
That was me showing you, but see, showing what to do, and he doesn't enjoy that.
Right, let's start again. So, this is the test to see how easy they are to use, because if I can operate them, anybody can. So, put it on 0 to operate all of them. Why isn't it closed all of them?
What are you doing?
See how that one started?
Might just be on a bit of a delay. Bit like you.
You.
I think it's technical error.
They are nice though, aren't they? I kind of wish, I do wish, before we got the SmartWings roller blinds for the cottage. This is a new range, the Roman blinds. I wish we'd have got these instead of the roller blinds, because I do prefer these. They look quite smart, don't they?
They do look smart.
I think
Right,
you go quite well with the grey in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They suit really well, don't they, with the grey?
Let's see if you can get them to go up together.
There we go.
Are you using the dial or the up and down?
The up and down button.
Is the whole one.
The whole one's up. So you might need to move them there to make that work.
There we go. That's cool, isn't it? That is so embarrassing. Anyway, that brings us nicely back to my previous clients' designs. I don't often show clients' designs in detail, but there are a few that really sum up how I approach a design. So let's jump back and take a look. The first design I want to show you is a dining room I worked on for a client. They live in a beautiful Victorian home that they've been slowly renovating, and this particular room was feeling a little, well, flat. It had great bones, high ceilings, and big windows, but it just didn't have that presence yet. They wanted to turn it into a proper formal dining room, somewhere to host, somewhere that felt elegant and timeless, but not stuffy or overly traditional. They were leaning towards darker colours, something sympathetic to the era of the house, but with contemporary touches so it didn't feel like a museum. So I really leaned into the Victorian architecture. We introduced full wall panelling with a dado rail and picture rail, which instantly gave the room structure and grandeur. The walls, the panelling, the skirting boards and all of the woodwork were painted in Farron Ball Studio Green, which is this deep, dramatic, almost heritage green. Then above the picture rail we softened it slightly with card room green, and kept the ceiling and coving in schoolhouse white to stop it from feeling too heavy. Although the room has these amazing tall windows with loads of natural light during the day, this space is mostly going to be used on the evenings, so layering artificial lighting was key. We added wall-mounted picture lights, a cluster chandelier with antique brass fittings, and blown glass shades, cabinet lighting within the alcoves, and even one of Adam's upcycled antique bellows camera lamps turned into a floor lamp, which adds a bit of personality and is a conversational piece. Either side of the chimney breast I designed bespoke cabinetry fitted perfectly into the alcoves. The upper sections have these grid-style cubby holes for displaying glassware and decorative pieces. Then cupboards below for practical storage. Now, rather than replacing the existing furniture, we decided to upcycle it. They already had this beautiful antique mahogany extendable dining table, chairs, a dresser, and a sideboard. So instead of ripping that out, we gave it a new lease of life. The bases and legs of the table were painted in Farrow & pitch black, leaving the mahogany top intact. The chairs were painted to match and reupholstered in Laura Ashley fabric, which also ties in with the Roman blinds in the windows. The dresser and sideboard were also updated in pitch black, but with areas of natural wood left exposed to honour their age. To soften all of that deep green, we brought in beautiful velvet bronze curtains with a linen trim. They frame the tall Victorian windows beautifully and add that sense of luxury. The overall feel is sophisticated and dramatic, but still warm and inviting. And finally, here are some actual photos that the client sent me of the finished space. Next up, the client wanted to transform this room into a proper cosy cocooning snug. Think vintage whisky lounge vibes. Dark, cosy, and somewhere to completely switch off. No TVs, no tech, just books, conversation, and a wee dram. We went quite bold in here. The walls are fully panelled in a shaker style grid, and everything, skirting, picture rail, coving, is painted in Farrow & railings. It's this beautiful soft black with the blue undertone, so it feels dramatic but not flat. Then the ceiling is in denims, which just lifts it slightly and stops it feeling too heavy. The real showstopper in this room is the fireplace recess. Instead of a traditional fire, we repurposed it into a glass-fronted drinks cabinet. Backlit shelves, beautiful glassware, bottles glowing in the evening. It's functional, but also a little bit theatrical. The warm light bouncing off the dark panelling gives a real moody lounge feel. Either side of the chimney breast, we built in bespoke bookcases and cabinetry, painted in the same railings colour. There's an antique brass rail with a ladder for reaching the higher shelves, which just adds to that old library character. We used gold knurled bar handles to bring in a slightly contemporary edge, and antique brass swan neck wall lights to cast a soft glow over the books. Window treatments were kept rich and layered. Deep midnight curtains on a bronze pole with copper-toned Roman blinds inside the recess. In the evenings, the blinds pick up that warm glow from the drinks cabinet and make the whole room feel really intimate. Furniture-wise, we went for comfort and character. A leather and tartan patchwork Chesterfield takes centre stage, paired with two high-backed winged leather chairs. You know, the kind you just sink into with a good book. There's a small tulip table for a decanter and glasses, so everything you need is within arm's reach. Then it's layered with personality. One of Adam's vintage steampunk camera lamps, a brass coal scuttle repurposed as a planter, tartan cushions, a cowhide rug underfoot, and framed artwork suspended from brass chains. Even the artwork nods to the home's history, including a vintage-style floor plan of the Victorian house itself. The overall feel is rich, intimate, and slightly nostalgic. And once again, here are some photos that the client sent me of the finished room. So, what's next in store for the cottage? Well, now that the workstation side of this room is complete, my attention naturally will turn to working on the other side of the room. So this cottage, even though technically it's a 3-bedroom cottage, we have the master bedroom, the second bedroom is here, my office space, and the third bedroom is Adam's workshop. So I always wanted this room to work a little bit harder than just an office. So my plan is to have a cozy space over there where a guest can comfortably sleep, or it can be a comfy, practical space to just sit during the day. Perhaps Adam is up here having a cup of tea while I'm working and we're chatting about how our day has been. Who knows? But here's one of the concepts that I came up with. So the idea is that a day bed will go here that works as a sofa most of the time, but also, as I said, somewhere that Adam can perch if he comes up for a chat while I'm working. But underneath it, there will be a trundle bed which will pull out and unfold, converting it into a double bed if we have more than one guest staying over. So visually, in juxtaposition to the workstation side of the room, I want this side of the room to feel soft, warm, and cocooning. So I want to layer it with textures, muted tones, and materials that sit comfortably alongside the rest of the room. Nothing shouty, nothing over-designed. Quite rustic looking with lots of wood, leather, and fabric textures. So think of it as a quiet, relaxed corner that just feels as considered as the workstation, but with a completely different purpose. But that is a project for next week, and I can't wait to show you how that comes along. Have a fantastic week, guys, and we'll all see you in the next one. Bye for now. You're saying bye. Do you want to go down and play with Benji? Huh? Who's your big brother? That's got some work to do.